Good afternoon and welcome to the March LexNet 701 webinar. I'm Christy Bookman and today's topic is effectively utilizing personalized targeted marketing in an integrated world. In this presentation we actually just made at the 2012 Big 12 Development Conference in Kansas City last week. And we were joined by Susan Burhow from the KSU Foundation. We were thrilled to have Susan join us and really appreciate her insight being a communications person within a major university. She gave us some great insight. And so Jan and I thought that it would be a great idea to share this presentation with all of you today. So we're going to get started. It is a little longer than 30 minutes, so we'll get right through it. But I wanted to give you the opportunity to see the information that Susan put together, that Jan put together, and then hear my presentation as well. If you have any questions while we're going through, please use the question console on the GoToWebinar over on the side of your screen. We'll begin. There are four significant components to the title that we selected for this presentation. The four keywords are effectively, personalized, targeted, and integrated. We're going to walk through those four keywords to talk specifically about how you can create targeted marketing campaigns that work within the structure, brand, and message at the university and gain remarkable results. Why do we integrate? Well, we all know these logos that are up on your screen. Walmart, Dell, Apple. You don't even need to see the words to know that Mercedes and Nike are symbols that are recognized. Susan mentioned Best Buy. Best Buy's sign you can see coming down the street in a city that you don't know, and you don't even have to see the Best Buy letters, the black letters on the sign. The mere shape of the sign in itself will let you know that it's Best Buy. Within a university structure, it can work very much the same way. You want people to know who you are as a university. You want people to know your brand, and you want it to be so completely identifiable that not only do they know the brand, but they feel the brand or they feel the atmosphere of the university every time they see it. Susan presented some great information for us on different ways of looking at the culture within the university. And she shared some of her thoughts going back to her master's thesis in a book that she read describing universities as organized anarchies. Universities have goals that are inconsistent, ill-defined, and loosely coupled, technology that no one understands, and participants who vary in how much time and effort they invest in the organization. Who that works in higher ed, marketing especially, can't relate to that description. But you know that's a good thing. You want different ideas, and you want to have opportunities for growth and technology and different people giving and sharing their interests and their talents. But how to do it in a way that conveys that feeling that you want from the entire university. We complicate ourselves for a reason. And we really just need to figure out where all of those multiple people and multiple fields and multiple purposes all come together for a single organizational goal. This is actually the org chart for Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas. And so we want to get from this University of Virginia's plan of organization to this, that single iconic image or message or channel that lets everyone know who you are. So let's work backwards through our keywords, starting with integrated. And this is a work in progress that Susan was kind enough to share with us. This is where the Kansas State University website is going to. Kansas State University used to have several different logos. And you'll see that here in just a little bit when we work through some examples. For example, Applied Science, this is their logo. And yet, Kansas State University wants to convey a logo, a single logo, but allow different communications department, marketing department, different schools to all maintain that same logo for a consistent look and feel. This is part of a website that's being redesigned to convey that look and feel. One university that's doing a really, really good job of conveying a common look and feel is Texas State University. Texas State is in San Marcos, Texas, and not only has Texas State been able to convey that single brand, but they also changed their name, which is amazing to convey that and go through such a big change. So Susan was quick to point out that Kansas State University is not there yet. They're not the end-all be-all hold-up example, but they're doing some really great things, and they're really trying to address the challenges that she put before us. How do they let their audiences know that they're special? How do you combat the cookie cutter effect? One size fits all. How do you customize your communications? And those are challenges that I think each and every one of us have to deal with each and every day. Now let's talk about targeted, our second keyword. And we have all seen examples of poor targeting that we've experienced. We're sure that you can think of similar examples that have landed in your inbox or even in your mailbox. Happy Meal coupons or Happy Meal targets for a junior in high school, poor targeting. Diaper coupons. Diaper coupons are great when your kids are this size, not so great when they're middle schoolers. And we've received those coupons in the mail. An American Girl catalog. American Girl is a great company. I have nieces that would love to have American Girl dolls. Not so much the college student. Not only are these communications not a good use of resources by the companies that have mailed them, they've also proven to the recipient that the company that's mailing those have not taken the time to learn anything about them. Their lack of concern for the recipient might not be as impactful for a diaper company, but it would be impactful for a university foundation that's in need of funds. If you lose your opportunity to connect with your recipient, you may never get another chance. There are many colleges and universities that are already utilizing targeting or segmentation in their marketing campaigns. And although this isn't a university example, this postcard mailed by LexNet was designed with artwork that changed based on the gender of the recipient. So these are two different postcards, both mailed as part of the same mailing, same print run, but female recipients received different artwork than male recipients. This example also had two different creative versions, one for female students and one for male students, actually prospective students. Just simple ways that through gender you can segment your mailing. Now let's look at the example on the right. This self-mailer was mailed to prospective donors to the arts programs within Washburn University. A very subtle variation was made on the outer side of the self-mailer for those that had an affinity to the music program, to the university theater company, or to the art program. And by this simple little change to the lower corner on the outside of the mailer, varying depending on the recipient, can make a huge impact. And also, I should point out, I don't know if you can see it, but here where I have my cursor where it says sample, the recipient's name was also worked into the piece. Now earlier we talked about Kansas State University and the university having multiple different logos. That consistency that they're working to obtain with the K-State College of Agriculture and the different colleges within the university can still be used to segment your marketing and make it more powerful. So for example, this was a self-mailer and this is the outside panel. If they were a College of Ag graduate, they would receive this bit of artwork. Arts and Sciences, same piece, same campaign, different artwork. Vet Med, same thing. And even a different location, like K-State Salina, still part of the same annual fund campaign, but the artwork varied to resonate with the recipient. Targeting affluent older donors in a different manner than you target recent graduates, that's going to greatly enhance the success of the marketing campaign. The obvious demographic differences between these two specific groups create different emotional triggers to respond. A cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all campaign will likely disappoint when the post-campaign analysis is completed. The recent grad doesn't respond to the same emotional triggers as an affluent elderly couple might. We don't want to send diaper coupons to the affluent elderly couple, and we don't want to send a mailing talking about recent events on campus and how much they enjoyed them to that same couple. Here's another example. In order to compel your recipient to act, you must sometimes, again, pull at the heartstrings and fuel an emotional response. In order to do so, you must connect with the recipient to trigger a fond memory, create a champion for your cause, and create a sense of urgency. In the case of your graduates, the emotional triggers and fond memories of undergraduate students are typically not the same as those of postgraduate students. Those students that received their bachelor's degree from your college or university may have enjoyed sitting in the student section. They may have enjoyed studying by the lake or socializing with their fraternity brothers. Graduates with master's or doctoral degrees may have more of an affinity toward a favorite professor or a research project that they were a part of. It all goes back to knowing your recipient, taking the time to find out about them to a degree that you can trigger that emotional response. Now, of course, on the undergraduate, postgraduate, we're generalizing to some degree, but the fundamental differences between different demographics in your constituency are important to learn and know. Your attention to detail and making the recipient feel like you've taken the time to get to know them can be the difference between a minimum donation or no donation at all and a gift that exceeds your expectations. Show your recipients that you know them, that you've taken time to learn more about their preferences or affinities in subtle, unobtrusive ways, and you will trigger an emotional and impactful response. Targeting can include a lot of different things. It can include varying the message, varying the creative, selecting a specific delivery channel, a specific delivery format, and any combination of these options, all while maintaining university branding. Now, last month during our webinar, we talked about personalization, and we talked about the neuro study that was done to see what emotional triggers responders related to based on brain waves and brain frequency. I'm not going to go over that again today. If you weren't able to attend that webinar, please go back and take a look. It is saved on the LexNet 701 page. It was really interesting information. Here are some other examples of personalization. And keep in mind that personalized can mean a lot of different things. But it's not necessarily just a salutation. A personalized landing page, a personalized URL, those are all things that can greatly and significantly increase your response rates. You're making it easier for your responders to connect with you and to respond to you by personalizing your appeal. Now that doesn't just mean that you put the person's name on the piece. If I don't know for a fact that Steve's a football fanatic, or that Allison loves the beach, or that Kirk enjoys his favorite coffee, even cool fonts like these are really nothing more than adding a personal salutation to the mail piece. They're really not personalizing the campaign to the recipient. We're not targeting them. We're not gaining that emotional connection. So here's an example of some personalization that goes that next step. This is, if you'll picture it, this is a self-mailer, and this is the cover. And this self-mailer is for students who graduated from the university who were neither law school graduates or student athletes. This is really kind of the generic version, if you will. Then this piece, same self-mailer format, was for graduates of the School of Law. And this piece, again, same self-mailer format, this design was created for former student athletes. And when we go to the inside of the self-mailer, so the self-mailer is unfolded and we're taking a look at two of the inside panels. The artwork again varies for student athletes, School of Law, and then this is another student athlete version. Now, yes, we have a personalized salutation, Dear John, but beyond that, we've segmented the piece, we've targeted the recipient based on the fact that they were a student athlete at the university. In fact, they were a male tennis player, as indicated by the artwork, which switches out depending on, from some stock photos, depending on the recipient. And we've also personalized the ask amount. John had given an amount of, let's say, $100 last year. And so this year, when we're asking him to consider a gift, we're increasing that amount just slightly to help encourage growth in gifts. And we're asking in a way that we feel like it's within his comfort level based on what he's given in the past. Here's another example, and I love this example because it really does personalize the piece for the recipient. This is a folded postcard, if you will, that went to Carl. And when you open the mailer, we're asking Carl to be a part of the university's future. This piece was created as a part of a 100-year campaign, the 100th year since the university was chartered. And there are several different elements that were incorporated into a timeline that is on the inside of the postcard. Now, variably within the timeline is Carl's graduation year. So to show that you're a part of the past of the university, we wanted to show Carl that his graduation year was important enough for us to print on the piece. And for us to gain an emotional response from Carl, we also took the time to design the mailer to include images that might bring him back to his days in the university or on campus. So the image on the front and this image down in the lower left-hand corner are both images that were captured on the campus in the decade of the 1940s. So let's look at another example. This is John. And you'll notice that the image on the front has changed. Same timeline, but instead John graduated in 1966. So his year of graduation is indicated on the timeline in chronological order. This image on the lower left has also changed because these two images were taken on campus in the 1960s. And a final example is Stephen and Linda. And Stephen and Linda both graduated from the university in the same year. And to save, because of the capabilities of the university's database, to keep Stephen and Linda from receiving two different pieces in their mailbox, we were able to send them just one, indicating their graduation year of 1982 on the timeline. And you'll notice that in this case, the image on the lower left is now in color. These two photos were taken on campus in the 1980s. We've included personalized URLs, both inside and outside of the piece, and when they click on or when they go to that URL, the information is pre-filled for them, making it simple and easy. Switching out the images and adding their graduation date to the timeline, in addition to this other personalization, really does work and does increase the response rates for mailings like these. And honestly, it's not a lot more time and effort for the gains that you're going to receive. Likely you have images like these from different decades in your vaults, in your data mines. So it's not that unreasonable that you would have that information to create such a piece. Just a few little bits of information about personalization, increasing response rates, increasing response time, repeat orders, repeat gifts, whether it's email, mail, no matter what your channel is, personalization does make a difference. And what's the number one thing you have to do, though, to be successful? Test, test, test. We spend a ton of time testing when we work with universities to implement marketing campaigns. We need to learn from our results. We need to make it better every single time. We test messaging. We test delivery channel, timing, frequency, data. We test all of those things because we want our pieces to be effective. Now here is an example of an effective mail campaign. And it is out of Robert Morris University. And some of these case studies are actually listed in the LexNet 701 Resource Center. So feel free to take a look at them on the site. If they're not, please feel free to contact me and I will be happy to get you information about these case studies. So Robert Morris University, in this example, had the fundamental business objective of convincing high-achieving students to select their school for undergraduate study. In the very competitive, as you know, higher education market, these decisions are both objectively and subjectively made by students and their families. Robert Morris also recognized that 18-year-olds are notorious for not following up, so they included multiple touches and felt that it was even more critical than usual. Robert Morris had 5 goals for their campaign. It was a highly personalized marketing campaign that utilized 4 different waves of direct mail and email, along with online and social channels over a course of 7 months. Now, Robert Morris has 10 campuses, and students were encouraged to attend an open house and visit day at the campus nearest their home. Direct mails and emails were sent to the prospective students, and variable content was used throughout to personalize the mailings, the emails, and the landing pages. This consisted of several text and image personalizations that included their name and address, the exam that they took, whether it was the ACT or the SAT, the degree program that they're interested in, which switched out images, links to specific deans, and varied the thank you pages. They were personalized based on the recipient's gender, any scholarship amount that would be offered, their athletic interest, and whether or not they were an in-state or out-of-state student. The students were driven to personalized landing pages such as the ones that you see on the screen. These landing pages were used to allow students to sign up for a campus visit, start the application process, connect with the university through social channels, and keep the prospective student engaged on the site. Students also received a personalized thank you email from the appropriate dean at Robert Morris based on the information that the student provided on the landing pages. For high school students being contacted by a university interested in having them, that itself is an offer. Excuse me. But the offers specific to this campaign were a survey offer. There was a free t-shirt offer for completing the landing page experience, and the image on the postcard showed an image like this, which was a male or a female wearing the shirt. There were also scholarships offered. These financial scholarship offers varied in amount based on the student's standardized test score. And they also were offered an opportunity. And there were offers to the students to visit the university on all campus dates or to schedule a personal visit. Robert Morris identified 5 reasons for the success of this campaign. One was good data. Their data came from great sources. It was cleaned and structured with the variable data designer's input, which is really beneficial. It included intelligent use of segmentation and personalization. The segmentation, messaging, image, and offer personalization was well considered, and it was appropriate. They included engagement throughout the campaign. The marketing solutions provider took an active role in all phases of the campaign, providing key input and suggestions throughout. They used print, online, and social media and integrated into one consistent campaign. It had the perfect blending of all of the marketing channels, appropriately leveraging the strengths of each. Students were able to engage through Facebook pages and follow through Twitter, which allowed the campaign to go viral. And the 5th key was real-time analysis and reaction. The marketing solutions provider that Robert Morris used uses online tools to track, analyze, react, and respond to the campaign. They didn't just simply study the data, they used it to make informed decisions and to alter and improve future phases. Here's another example. And this is Elizabethtown College. They did a campaign that was designed to let recent graduates update their current contact information. They also wanted to grow their Facebook participation. They wanted to find out more about what causes recent graduates to give to the university. And they also wanted to qualify younger alumni, even if they can't give now, they wanted to qualify them for future fundraising solicitations and to grow their participation rates. Now, phase 1 involved multiple channels. There was a mailed marketing piece. They included social media, incorporated a personalized URL. They also utilized email, personalized email, and follow-up email, along with the direct mail piece. Now, phase 2 really went a little deeper. Phase 2 talked about favorite memories about the time that the student was at the university. They contacted the students via email, via direct mail, utilizing a personalized URL within the direct mail, and then they followed up with any students that hadn't responded. Now, from the information that the students provided, their favorite memories or what they really enjoyed at the university, a next phase, which included a mailed piece that incorporated their responses, was created. 15 years ago, you made memories with your classmates. Wouldn't it be great to be a part of Dell Day again? This student said that one of their favorite times at Elizabethtown College was during Dell Day. Perhaps this student had a different memory, and those were incorporated into the mailing piece itself. Now, for those that didn't respond, there was a static message, a predetermined message that was used. Did it work? Well, the average email open rate was 19.2% and a click rate of 10%. That's outstanding. Almost 17% of the recipients visited their personalized URL. They had an 8.4 response rate, which with young alumni is very good. Alumni that provided their information via a survey or made a donation. And they also had alumni that visited the college's donation page and some that made a contribution. Last one. This last case study is from Rosemont College. And Rosemont is a private liberal arts college in Philadelphia. They had previously achieved really good results with personalized direct mail campaigns. And they wanted to use the data analytics that they had learned from those prior campaigns and enhance their relevant marketing to improve the results of their annual fund drive. Now, these were their goals: to improve the overall participation of alumni, grow their stewardship program, convert more non-donors, improve the participation rate of their last year, but unfortunately not this year, and some years, but unfortunately not this year groups. They wanted to grow their online donations, and they wanted to continue to make preparation for a huge upcoming campaign that they had, their comprehensive campaign. Now, being in the midst of the comprehensive campaign that required all annual fund efforts to be seamlessly integrated into the $40 million comprehensive program, Rosemont integrated the following elements. They had versioned direct mail based on giving status, level of previous gift, time of previous gift, relationship to the college, and age. There were versioned emails that corresponded with the direct mail pieces. They utilized personalized URLs to continue capturing data to be utilized throughout 2011 and lay the groundwork for the launch of the public phase of their comprehensive campaign. They used Facebook to push online donations. They versioned campaign-related annual fund videos that were synchronized to versioned direct mail pieces and emails that pushed online donations. They had timely non-solicitation emails that were utilized to engage non-responders, showcase their campus, and create a sense of goodwill among recipients. And this campaign laid the groundwork for their 5-phase comprehensive campaign that just began this year. And these are some examples of the way that the creative of the pieces varied depending on whether they were targeting young alumni or older alumni. Rosemont's cross-channel campaign exceeded expectations with outstanding results. Past gift dates were utilized as well as the suggested donation amounts, and they varied based on previous gifts. To help Rosemont boost gift amounts, the donor's last gift was given as the first option on the response form. So their last gift amount was the first option, then the middle option was a little bit greater amount of donation, and the third option would be even greater donation. Industry research has proven that donors will typically automatically select the middle amount, which in this case was an increase over the previous year. 31%, in fact, of Rosemont's past donors increased their gift amount in 2011, which was, excuse me, an increase over the prior year. By analyzing donor data and giving behavior, campaign costs were reduced by not soliciting all prospective donors during each phase. ROI was maximized by adjusting the suggested donation amounts. With the consistency in tactics over the past 3 years, Rosemont was able to rely more heavily on email, which cut down production costs and allowed them to put funds toward other outreach efforts like the selection video. Rosemont averaged a 22% open rate on email solicitations. According to MailChimp industry benchmarks, this is 32.5% better than an average campaign. All direct mail pieces and email solicitations were aimed at getting the prospect to a personalized landing page to view the video and make a gift. And as a final push, all recipients received a personalized letter from the president of the college asking them to take action. The variable action item was based upon donor history, past gift amount, and relationship to the college. The messaging varied for young alumni versus remaining prospects. I know this is a lot of information to throw out all at once, but hopefully you were able to pick up some tips that will help you to make your marketing campaigns more effective utilizing personalization and targeting within your marketing, and even in an integrated university environment. We are here to answer any questions that you have at absolutely no obligation. If you are looking for specific bits of information, please take a look at LexNet701.com. We really are working to make LexNet701.com a resource that is beneficial for every single person in higher education marketing. So if you have some ideas for us or some suggestions, we would love to hear them. That will conclude today's presentation. I know we've already gone over on time, so I apologize for that. The presentation will be saved on the LexNet 701 website along with any prior month's webinars. And we look forward to seeing you again in April. Our April webinar will be on April 10th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, I apologize that we didn't have time to get to questions. Please feel free to email me at Christy, CHRISTYB, at Lexinet, LEXINET, corporation.com, and spell out the entire word corporation, Christy B at LexinetCorporation.com, and we will be happy to answer them. Thank you very much and have a great afternoon.